You're about to jump into the middle of a coaching call that I was hosting for members of my group coaching membership, Growth Getters. The question was asked, how do I gain more traction and credibility? So I shared all my secrets on PR. Now, PR is awesome because it gives you a quick boost when you first get the feature, but you can also leverage it, and this is how you do it.
Traction and credibility. That comes down to PR, okay? So PR is just proof that you are credible. Start looking at it that way. PR is proof that you are credible. When, we've all seen it. You go to someone's website. I have it on my website where I'm like, and I've been featured in Forbes and CBS and the Every Girl and Disney Babble. And I'm trying to build credibility. I'm trying to say, hey, look, if these people trusted me, you should trust me, right? Like I'm trying to build credibility. But where do we start? Where do we get that PR? Where do we get that proof of our proof of credibility, proof of trust? So the hardest one is really going to be the first one because you don't have any proof yet. So it's getting the first person to take that chance. And then once you get one, you can leverage that. That's where people talk about leveraging publicity. Once you've gotten one, you can leverage that to get more. Okay. So for example, I got an email this morning that was offering me to do a live interview for a TV station in Australia. I'm super excited. I'm going to say yes. The way that I was able to leverage that is because I got other ones. And those other ones came with me reaching out and putting myself out there and having to learn and adjust and getting a whole lot of no's, actually not even no's, just nothing, like no response, but continuing to put myself out there. So here are the biggest things. There is a resource called HARO, HARO. It stands for Help a Reporter Out. You can sign up for that and you get pitches from all over the world of reporters who are looking for sources that they can showcase. This is how I got Forbes, Disney, Babble, that one newspaper. What's it called? I can't remember. Epoch Times. They all came through HARO, actually. So that's the first thing. You can sign up for HARO, sign up for the type of inquiries that you want, and then they come twice a day, and sometimes you're going to be too busy. You can't really get to them. Sometimes you can get to them, but you scan and you look for ones that could be relative to what you do. So actually this live interview for Australia, it was a HARO inquiry looking for women business owners and how to pivot and how to position yourself amidst COVID changes. So here's how I do it. Like, here's my actual, we could probably find one on my desk from the other day. But I have a notepad and I go through and I read every single one of the things that they're saying. And I write down the number for the ones that I think could possibly be relevant for me. So I'm like, okay, 8, 10, 21, 27, 33. Those are the ones based on the headlines that I think could be relative. Then I go down and I see exactly what they're asking and what they want. Then I have to craft an email. Now, time is of the essence when it comes to these because we're humans and often you kind of just take like the first ones that come. If you're like, oh, this could be good, perfect, done. They want to check it off, right? Like these are humans trying to finish a deadline and check it off. So time is of the essence. That's why sometimes I'm doing really good at this. And because I'm making time, I know when the emails come in and I'm like, okay, jump in. Let's see what I can get and email right back. Other times I'm not because I'm way too busy with other projects and I'm just not worrying about it right then. That's fine. Right things, right places, right times. But if this is something that you're like, okay, I'd like some publicity, here's how I've done it. This is literally how I've done it. So I scan them, I find the ones that I think could be relevant, and then I craft an email. Again, it's right back to what we were just talking about. I'm trying to keep it as simple and short as possible and get them exactly what they need and get that information. So I typically do the subject line of query response, semicolon, and then in brackets, I say the title of what their thing was, because sometimes they have multiple different ones because they're working on different deadlines. And then I say, if their name's there, hello, blah, blah, blah. Often, again, because I like to try to start with like a compliment. It's like this one, interviewing female business owners on how they can protect themselves. I freaking love that topic. Like, yes, we need more of that. So, I started with, I love that you're covering this. Thank you so much for helping women entrepreneurs. This is something I'm so passionate about. And then I immediately created my credibility. But basically, I'm a female CEO. I own a growth strategy agency, and I have been helping all of my clients pivot during this time and been able to accomplish growth for every single one of my private clients in 2020. Boom, I have now stated my credibility. Then I say, here is what I would say. So you have to kind of do some trust. You give it right to them. Here's my nugget. Could they literally steal it and use it and make it their own? Yeah. If that happens, it happens. But they're certainly not going to reach back out to me if I'm like being vague. So I'm like, here's exactly what I would cover for this one. Because I knew it was a live news article, I specifically was like, they would want to see how I speak and how I can come across on video. So I put it out in bullet form in case they don't want to watch a video. I then turned on my Loom. I just made my website be the background. I probably positioned it to be like featured on Forbes, blah, blah, blah. Right? I'm like, just so you know. Actually, it might have just been on the front page. I don't remember where it was, but I had my website up and I was like, hey, just want to introduce myself really quick. Knowing that this is a live interview, I thought you might enjoy seeing me on video to make sure it feels like a good fit for what you're looking for. What I would like to cover, I reiterated exactly what I said in the bullets. And then at the end, I said, if you're interested, reach out to me. I'll be available whenever you need me. And I think that I sent that out yesterday, and I had an email this morning that they wanted to do an interview and to choose a time. So that's literally how, if we're talking about PR, how I made that happen. Now, there's some things that you can do to make this a little bit, go a little bit further. Like maybe you're looking at the standpoint of how can I get traction as an influencer? So then you're looking at really working on getting those numbers up, creating a media kit, being able to show and indicate what would really fit well with your brand value and your personality and those things. And I definitely do not, well, I do have experience with that. When we did our travel year, we got a lot of our experiences sponsored by cold emailing, reaching out to companies and saying, hey, we're a travel family. Here's what we're about. Here's what we do. Here's our numbers. They were incredibly small, incredibly small, just so you know. And we are going to be in the area. We would love to do a blog post. I would give a hook to kind of indicate. So, for example, when we were in Hong Kong, all the emails that I sent out, I was specifically saying, I would love to give from an American's perspective of how to experience Hong Kong and the best things to do. We got our hotel completely comped, which was amazing. And we got a couple meals comped. So don't think like, oh, but like you already can show you've been in Forbes. No, I started with nothing, and you had to get the first one to say yes. The travel, that I didn't even utilize any of that. We literally were like, we have like almost no followers and we're barely just starting, but here's what we can do. Here's how we're going to leverage the blog content, being able to say that, I was going to leverage all of this for SEO and these different things. And it worked. It was amazing. We got sponsored by Columbia, and got all of our like snow gear. We got sponsored for some ski trips, and obviously throughout, our travels at different places, we got to have some really incredible experiences because we were going to talk about them. So it's just putting yourself out there and presenting. Now, here's the number one thing I want to tell you. Expect no. Just expect no. Like literally you are going in like, okay, how many people can I get to say no to me today? If you go in like that, you're not going to get stuck in the rejection trap of like, oh my gosh, I must be doing it all wrong. No, it's just that it's this, you have to fit at this perfect timing. Like they have to be thinking and had in there somewhere in their mind of like, we need more people talking about the business, right? When I managed to hit their inbox and say, I'd like to talk about your business. And then they're like, yeah, this could work. I think we've got the availability and the opening, boom. And now it works. Do you know how unlikely that is? So you're expecting a whole lot of no's, which makes this a numbers game all the way. This is literally like you just keep sending them and sending them and sending them and sending them. And like one might say yes, and then that's awesome. And then you got it. But you're anticipating dozens of no's for every yes. I will tell you, I am anticipating dozens of no's for every yes. So for example, when I was going, when we knew our next country and we knew where we were going, I might reach out to 24 companies and I got one to say yes. Woohoo! Our hotel was covered, but 24 did not say yes. One did, right? Like, or maybe you get a really great situation every once in a while where two do, and you're like, which one am I gonna choose? But for the most part, like you are anticipating no after no after no after no, and you just keep trudging along.